Good afternoon, children. We're going to begin this afternoon with the story now of what happened after Jesus was born and after the dedication at the temple that we read about earlier. Now we have come to the part of the story where the Magi, who had traveled a long, long distance from the east to see the baby Jesus and bring him gifts, we are going to read this part of the story. Now we know that the Bible doesn't tell us exactly how many wise men there were. And it's often in pictures on Christmas cards and other places that we see 3. But it's just presumed by some that there could have been 3 because the 3 gifts that were brought to Jesus were gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And so that's where they get the idea of 3. There could have been more. There could have been even a caravan of people who came with them on this trip because it was a long trip. It took them quite a while to cross the land and get to the baby Jesus. So the story begins. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, asking, "Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him." These were men who studied the stars, and so it was to these men that God showed this star. And we don't know if they're the only ones who saw that star, because we know that when they arrived in Jerusalem and went to Herod the king, they asked him where the child was. So we don't know. We don't know if others saw the star or just what. But at any rate, they came to King Herod and they said, "Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him." When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And that's because he knew that the Jews were expecting a Messiah. They were looking forward to a Messiah, and he didn't want his position to be threatened in any way. And so when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he asked them where Christ should be born. "In Bethlehem of Judea," they said, "for thus it is written by the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of you shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel." There was a prophecy that was given many, many, many years before Jesus was born, that he would be born in Bethlehem. And surely that came to pass. Then Herod sent secretly for the wise men and asked them what time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search carefully for the young child. And when you have found him, bring me word, so that I may come and worship him also." Now Herod didn't really want to worship Jesus. He wanted to find Jesus and kill him. But he told the wise men that that's what he wanted to do. When they had heard the king, they departed. And lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them. So evidently the star reappeared at that time, and it went before them until it came and stood over the place where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with great joy. And when they came into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother. And they fell down and worshipped him, and presented to him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now, because the Bible says that when the shepherds and others came to see Jesus and when he was born, they speak of him as a babe. But now they speak of him as a young child, and the fact that they came into the house lets us know that Mary and Joseph left at some point they left the stable there in the manger and got a house. Perhaps they rented and stayed in that house until Jesus was older. So they presented to him gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And we know that gold represents a king, and frankincense represents deity, and myrrh is the spice that was used when people die to use with the person. And being warned by God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed and returned to their own country by another way. So, therefore, because they were warned in a dream not to go back the same way, then Herod could not get to them. So I'm going to show the picture. Now, this picture shows the wise men and Mary and the little boy Jesus, which it looks like he's maybe 2 years old, and it shows them outside. So perhaps Mary brought the baby out to greet them, and then maybe they went into the house after that, since the Bible says that they went into the house. But it could have been that they first met outside, because this person who painted this picture thought so. And you see the animals, the donkey there and a goat behind them. People kept their animals right with them, and so we see the picture that way. But the Bible does say they went into the house and presented those gifts. And the next story we'll pick back up next time. The next story we'll learn about their flight to Egypt. And it is believed that because they were given these gifts, baby Jesus was given these gifts, that provided the money for them to make that trip. They had to flee to Egypt to be safe and away from the mean King Herod. So, God bless you, and good afternoon, and we'll pick back up. You children, tune in again. God bless you. Bye-bye.